So this is going to be the first impressions of the Rimmel London Thrill Seeker mascara. Before I get into this, I've not bought makeup in like quite a few years, to be fair, and then if I do, it's kind of like the cheap end of drugstore. But when did like the drugstore become really expensive? Like this was, I think it was like 12 quid, like over 10 quid for a drugstore mascara. And obviously I'm not talking about like the lower end of the drugstore like Catrice and 17 and all that, but more focusing on like the bigger drugstore names like Rimmel London, Maybelline, NYX. Well, NYX was expensive. I don't necessarily recognize NYX technically as drugstore, but you get what I mean. When did they become expensive? Anyway, so this is my first impressions of the Thrill Seeker mascara. I've not done a makeup review in a while, so with the first impressions with mascaras, I do check-ins as well as like application of it. So yeah, so I've seen this in a drugstore for a while, but as I was in Boots to get some foundation, and if you spent £20 or more, you got a free like freebie bag of a few makeup products. So I thought, why not just pick this up anyway. So this one is in, I think it's only one shade anyway, extreme black. So this is supposed to be smudge proof, clump free, which is going to be interesting because this does say that it is a volumizing mascara, so it'd be interesting to see if you can get it without clumps. I don't mind clumpy mascaras, but I can understand how some people don't like clumpy mascaras. But anyway, so it was smudge proof, clump free, flaky free, as well as lasting for 24 hours, which I mean, if you needed this in the earlier stages of the World Cup, then yeah, maybe that was useful, but most people don't have makeup on for 24 hours. But anyway, so my first time opening it and knowing what the brush looks like. So the brush, I'm not sure if you can see that, but the brush is very average. There's nothing really special about this bristle, about this brush. Mascara brush is just, it looks like your average mascara brush, where it's wide, but it slightly tapers as it goes up, but not like extremely. So yeah. Okay, so like with a lot of kind of volumizing mascaras, they don't really lengthen. It's very rare you can find a mascara that can do both, but this doesn't really offer that much length at all, if I'm being honest. Let me just apply on the other eye. I mean, so far there's no clumping, which you don't really expect with the first layer, but yeah. So I mean, there's some length there, but not a lot of length. So if you're looking for more of a lengthening mascara, then this one is not going to be for you. I'm just gonna then apply a second layer. I don't usually, but with these first impressions I always do, because a lot of people do put more than one layer of mascara on their lashes. It's just not something that I do. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can tell, but from the second coat it starts to lengthen the lashes actually quite nicely. So if you do want that length, you are going to need more than one coat. But yeah, you definitely get that length on the second coat. Let me just show you a close-up for the first coat. But yeah, they look really pretty. I really like this. I've never had like a Rimmel London mascara, which I've not actually disliked. I think Rimmel London are really top when it comes to the mascara, and this is no different either. I just think it just looks, it makes the lashes really look beautiful. Like, I don't want to say it gives that false lash look, just because I've never worn false lashes, but on, like, for me, I think on my lashes, because everyone's lashes is different, I think it just gives that like false lash look, and I do really like how it just volumizes from the bottom of the lashes without that clump. Now, as a second layer, it'd be fine for me with just 2 layers. As I said, the first layer you get the volume, second layer, well, second coat shall I say, is where you see the magic. So it's definitely one where a second coat is probably, you know, best. Now I'm gonna see if I can get a third coat, which is interesting because it does say that it does not clump. So we're gonna push it just a little bit more, just with 1 extra layer, and it just adds more and more volume with each layer. I will say, I don't know if you can tell, it is slightly clumping a bit. So the third coat may be a little bit of a push, but when it comes to clumping, it's nothing compared to, you know, a lot of mascaras. When you start kind of layering it, it's kind of very, very visible, the clumping. So it's definitely a mascara which is just fine at 2 coats, but if you do want to push it, then a third coat, but you'll definitely find with a second coat. But yeah, the third coat, it does sort of start to kind of clump slightly, but again, it's 3 coats, what do you expect? So I wouldn't necessarily put this mascara low down, because most people don't put 3 coats on their lashes, and if you are, then do expect it to start to clump, even though it says it's not supposed to clump. But with the mascaras testing and stuff, it's not going to kind of go beyond what people normally would put on the amount of mascara they'd put on their lashes. But yeah, as you can see, it just looks so pretty. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I might do more than 1 check-in. We'll just do a check-in. It's currently like going up to 11 o'clock, I think, to be fair. We'll probably do a check-in like in late afternoon and see if there's any change. But so far I am really loving this mascara. But yeah, as I said, it's definitely one where it definitely volumizes, and it does lengthen. If you apply more than 1 coat, it will start to lengthen on that second coat. So it is currently just past just before 2, and they are still staying strong. So this is definitely a top favorite mascara, I think, of mine. We may click in again this afternoon, but I've had no issues. I've had no like flaking or anything like that, or clumps coming off my lashes, so all is good. It's currently going up to 5 o'clock, so they are starting to droop a little bit, but they're still kind of decent. At this point, I would probably top up the mascara. So they have gone a little bit droopy, but the volume's still there. But yeah, overall, this I really like. Like, I would compare this mascara to the Benefit They're Real. Obviously, the Benefit They're Real, I got lipstick on my teeth, but not lipstick, lip gloss. But obviously the Benefit They're Real gives a lot more volume, but then you're paying a lot more money for it. But it's comparable. Like, if you do want a volumizing mascara, but you are on a budget, even though drugstore's not really budget anymore, but it is cheaper than the Better They're Real, I recommend that you actually pick this one up. So overall, I do really enjoy it. So yeah.